Hey, what up, everybody? It's shorty Rachel. I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble day. Let's get this joint started. Let's talk about it, y'all. All right. I've been trying to do this live for the past couple of days, just trying to figure out how to do it. And today I'm just gonna give it a shot and get what's on my mind out, what I think, and how I feel about these situations. Right? Our kids right now need us more than ever. There's so many things going around the world that a lot of us don't know about. And it's crazy because so many kids going missing, so many kids getting molested, so many kids getting abused in different shapes and forms, different ways. It's just like, damn, when the hell is the abuse towards our kids ever going to end? So today, I just wanted to take the time, right? YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, anybody that sees this video, and ask y'all how y'all feel. When is it that us, the people in the communities, are going to make a stand and fight for our kids? I've made my stand. I've been fighting for the past 2 years. I have a petition out that is taking me a long time because it's so positive that, like,
That's just crazy.
it's like I'm drawing the attention little when it comes to this petition, but it's taken me a very long time because at the end of the day, a lot of people are more focused on, how can I say it, the celebrity gossip, or more focused on the beef or a fight or an argument. That right there is what draws attention. But when we're sitting here letting y'all know that our kids are going through what they're going through, you don't see nobody really stand up, and the ones that are standing up get dragged through social media like it's not even a joke. So today I wanted to take a time and let y'all hear some audio from some news reporters of a couple people. The first one I'm going to show y'all is a substitute teacher that gets arrested and charged with 19 counts of molestation. Like, I don't know how you as a woman or you as a mother, what crosses through your head to sit here in a classroom full of 19 second graders and perform a sexual act? Like, it's just crazy because it breaks my heart every time I sit here and I hear stories like this, and then you don't hear nothing being done about it. And it's crazy because stuff like this happens in our communities, and guess what happens? Shh. Because the person that has done it is so important, it's so special, they gotta be kept protected. Why? So that he or she can keep harming others? Listen, I believe that us, the people in the communities, are the ones that need to make the change. If we don't make a change, ain't none of this going to end. When is the abuse towards our youth going to end? It'll end when all of us unite and stop being divided. Because right now this world is divided in two. Sometimes I think it's divided in three and in four. But I want to get started real quick. I want y'all to hear this audio and let me know what y'all think about it. Sounds so low. Guys, hold on. What the hell is going on? Just so y'all can hear.
her first appearance before a judge in a class. School teacher accused of disturbing behavior in a classroom made her first appearance before a judge today. Good evening, I'm Russ Spencer.
And I'm Courtney Bryant. Deputies have charged 30-year-old Amelia Ressler with 19 counts of child molestation after she allegedly recorded herself performing a sex act in front of elementary students. Fox 5's Doug Evans has more on today's hearing from Carroll County.
The preliminary hearing for Amelia Ressler was pretty standard, except for a request by the magistrate judge. Meanwhile, investigators tell me they're about to begin the process of interviewing all 19 kids that they say were in the classroom when Amelia Ressler shot that video. The judge barred the media from recording Amelia Ressler's face at her first appearance in Carroll County Magistrate Court. An interesting order, considering Amelia Ressler's mugshot has been published in the media coast to coast since her startling arrest last Friday. She is accused of performing a sex act on herself, video recording it, and then sharing it, all with students in the classroom. Investigators say there were 19 second graders in the class. They've charged
Slowly. So while this loads, like as y'all can see, like there's so many cases like this, and by the time that a lot of us find out about stuff like this, it's too late. What I want y'all to do is, right, let's take 1 minute, right? A lot of these cases have nothing to do with your kids, right? But a lot of these situations have happened in our communities. And it doesn't get talked about in the news. You don't hear it like this on the news at all. There's a lot of cases that don't get talked about. Like, for example, how when a lot of kids go missing, some of it pops up on social media, some of it pops up on the news. A lot of it doesn't. A lot of it, gets talked about. Some of it gets passed by. Some of it gets ignored. Some of it gets listened to. But not all the information gets put out there. Some of these kids have gone missing and we still don't even know about it. It takes a minute for us to find out that they are missing because of everything that is happening, from distractions around us to the politics to the realization to the science to the music. Everything is a distraction and nobody is really peeping what's going on around us. It's like a pattern. If you pay attention, you'll see the pattern, from our kids going missing to our kids being abused and much more. Now, here's the thing. A lot of these abusers get away with it, and that's because we don't have the right people in office. Others do get some time, but not the right time. Some of these kids get justice for what has happened to them, some of them don't. So you got to realize that in a lot of these cases, a lot of these kids, depending on what's happening to them, is going to react differently. They're not going to react the way we think they're going to react. Everybody fights their own demons in their own way, in their own hell. So all I'm saying is there's so many things happening around us, especially when it comes to our youth. And you don't see nobody really standing up and fighting for something to be done. If we want change to be done and we want our kids to be helped, we have to come together.
There were 19 second graders in the class. They've charged
I keep pausing there. One second, guys. Alright, that audio's messing with me. Let's go back. Let's see if we can see her images. Alright, guys. So this right here is the lady that is being charged with the 19 counts of molestation. All right, y'all. what this lady has done is real sick. Me as a parent, what I want is a lot of people to start coming together, because we don't really want our kids involved in these situations. We want to teach them how to actually get out of a lot of situations, what to do when come across a situation like this, which a lot of that's one of our biggest fears as parents is something like this happening to our child, or a child going missing, or getting a knock on the door which says, listen, I'm sorry for your loss. So it is time for us to stop making excuses and start doing what we got to do as the adults, as the role models, as the leaders, as the people that are supposed to be protecting and taking care of these kids. Let me see something. In September 2020, let me see. I'm going to read this article real quick. Nearly 200 Pennsylvania children are reported missing. Please close that. Damn, these pop-ups are getting irking. Nearly 200 Pennsylvania children are reported missing. Some surface quickly, others have been gone for decades. I did a little video the last time speaking on how many kids go missing per day, the statistics, and much more. So here's my question, right? These are the reports, right? When you search 2021, it's hard to get their latest statistics. So here's my thing. Y'all got the updates from 2019, 2020, and I could just keep going. But when you try to look up for the statistics of 2021, it's like they're not fully there. That's because we just started. But when you look into the year, you can start counting the kids that have gone missing from the parents that have reported them through a social media platform like Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And you can start doing your own math until the statistics start popping up, because I'm thinking that they don't have it updated yet online. All right, so going on to another subject. All right, going on to another subject. Where is it? Here we go. This is another case, and this is a school bus driver. So this school bus driver admits to molesting 2 kids during a game of hide and seek on the bus.
The court finds that the state has, in fact, established by clear and convincing evidence that there's no amount of monetary bail, non-monetary conditions, or a combination of the two that would reasonably assure the defendant's appearance in court and the safety of persons in the community, and that the defendant would not obstruct the criminal justice process. The court, again, places significant weight on the factors that I've listed, and as a result, the defendant is going to be detained.
All right, that was the judge speaking on his sentence. And it says right here, during his virtual court hearing held over Zoom, Thomas Wish, 70, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child and 4 counts of child abuse and neglect. The charges resulted from what prosecutors said was months of abuse, including touching 2 young students inappropriately over their clothes and allowing 4 students to ride the bus without seatbelts between October 2019 and January 2020. The children told police that Thomas Swift groped girls during games of hide and seek and bribed students with candy and donuts to keep quiet about the touching game, according to the Daily Record. In mid-January, one of the girls reported the abuse to a guidance counselor and the bus driver was arrested. Per Thomas Turvish's plea agreement, the most serious charges of sex assault and 2 counts of child abuse and neglect were dismissed. The state recommends he be sentenced to 3 years in state prison. Tomovich attorney John Bruno is asking for a suspended sentence and lifelong supervised parole. Like, are you serious? Tomovich won't be sentenced until he undergoes an assessment to determine his risk as a sexual offender. But the business conducting the assessment, the adult diagnosis, and the treatment center in Avenel is currently closed due to the coronavirus pandemic. Bruno told NJ Advanced Media that Tomovich has been released from jail and is on home detention with a tentative August sentencing date. Here's my thing. He should be arrested. He shouldn't be out of jail. At the end of the day, like I be telling everybody, a lot of people's gonna get mad what I'm about to say, but if you put a dog down for biting a human, tell me why you can't put down someone for taking the innocence of a child. Can you please explain that to me? This is my opinion, this is how I feel, and this is what I think. I'm not saying I'm going to act on anything, but at the end of the day, can y'all please tell me? It's just a question. It's not for anybody to get offended, because the last time I said something like this, a couple people on YouTube got offended. But at the end of the day, if you're sitting here agreeing or defending somebody that is touching a child inappropriately, then you ain't no better than the pedophile himself or herself. So I've been trying to work on this for the past couple of years. Like I've said this over in a couple of videos before. I've said it on my Facebook. I've said it to people to their face. Like, a lot of things can happen and we don't even know about it. You could be the best parent in the world, but I'm gonna put this as an example. A kid's imagination is not like ours. So an adult sitting here threatening a child will get a child real scared. So don't think that it's going to be real easy when a child goes through something that they don't understand what is happening to them, for them to speak up just because. It's not going to be that easy. It's going to take a lot of therapy. It's going to take a lot of help. It's going to take a lot of patience to help this child speak up. So what I need y'all as parents to do is really speak to your kids. Don't hold back. Teach them, educate them. That is your job. That is our job as parents, as role models. Teach them how to defend themselves just in case anything happens. You never know what could happen. Somebody try to snatch them. There's a lot of cases where kids have been almost gotten snatched, and they've been close to their parents. So like right now in this era, so many things happening, but if you look deep into it, you can find the information that you need. So I just wanted to prove a point today on this live. Like, we are losing our youth, and you're not really seeing nobody really stand up, protest, or say anything about it. You hear a couple bloggers speak about the news, and I give a shout out to those bloggers that speak about the violence that's happening around their community. I give a shout out to those bloggers that speak about our kids that have gone missing in our communities, within our communities, whether it's their community or not. Because at the end of the day, we need to start speaking up and start defending those that we say that we call ours. All right, y'all, here we go. Where was I? So, back to the case of the bus driver admitting to molesting these two kids, right? You got kids saying that it's not his first time, that he's already groped more than one girl. He's molested two kids already. Like touching little kids while they're playing hide and seek in the bus. I don't think that he should go to a trial to see if he's fit to be a pedophile. He is a pedophile. There's enough evidence from the statements that the kids gave and everything that was said in court to prove that this man should be behind bars. But right now, he's not. We need to speak up for our kids. We need to stand up, everybody. We need to talk to our kids every day, find out how they're doing, ask them how their day is going, how they feel, what do they need, what do they want. We need to be parents, but also we need to be our kids' friends sometimes. We need to let our kids know and understand that they can come to us as parents and let us know what's going on, and that we will be there to help them, to give them the advice that they need, the guidance, the support, the push. We're not going to sit here and do the deed for them, but us as parents, it is our job to educate and defend our kids by any means necessary. So, like I've said, this is not the first time. September 21st, 2018, a school bus driver charged with, oh, my bad, I'm on the wrong one. January 10, 2020, former Austin school bus driver sentenced to 20 years for inappropriately touching a 5-year-old girl. Bus driver Shane Peach this is another bus driver that won't go to prison, and this happened when, in 2019. Like, I want to know what the hell is wrong with this world. Like, our kids going missing isn't enough. Our kids being bullied, molested.
Times, Shane Peachy was a bus driver. A New York judge ruled that a school bus driver who raped a 14-year-old girl will not serve any prison time. Shane Peachy was a bus driver for the Watertown City School District in upstate New York, where he reportedly met the 14-year-old student. Peachy, in his 20s, raped the girl at his home in June of 2018 and was arrested in September. Local station WWNY reports that the victim's mother said Peachy, quote, bought her daughter gifts and invited her and other minors to his home where he gave them alcohol. Peachy pleaded guilty to a third-degree rape charge in February. At sentencing, Judge James P. McCluskey did not include any jail time, as Peachy was sentenced to 10 years probation and required to register as a Level 1 sex offender, the lowest risk designation. According to the Watertown Daily Times, Judge McCluskey stood by his ruling, saying that Peachy was never arrested before and there was only one victim. The victim's mother told WWNY in a statement that she wished Peachy received jail time, adding, quote, he took something from my daughter she will never get back and caused her to struggle with depression and anxiety. The lack of a prison sentence has sparked outrage as an online petition to recall the presiding Judge McCluskey has reached over 9,000 signatures.
So once again, like I said, we have to put our dogs down for biting a human, but yet we cannot put down a pedophile that takes the innocence of our kids. Can someone please explain that to me, or like make it make sense? The justice system ain't shit. So at the end of the day, if we really want justice, we have to make a stand. We have to make a difference. But how the hell can we make a difference when we're so divided? November 29, 2018. confessed pedophile who was a Knox school bus driver heads to federal prison for child pornography. But you don't hear nobody speaking about that. But you want to know when people start screaming and shouting? When it's actually their own child it happens to. Alright, so we're going to drop the little... I just proved my point right there. Prove my point on the kids going missing. Now, before I end this live, this is what I want to tell everybody. Right? I don't care who gets mad. I don't care who judges me, who says what. At the end of the day, we need all of y'all to put your guns down. For you men out there that think that holding a pistol makes you a real man, it doesn't. A real man will use these instead of using that pistol. For you females out here, it's the same thing. For all y'all females out here that think they're using a pistol to get the job done, makes you a real woman, it doesn't. When I get on my podcast, on my other channel, The Writers for Life, The Surviving Warriors, go check us out on there. We already got our podcast started. We're going to keep going. We will have, that's one of the topics we're going to be speaking about. Like, I don't know why the world thinks that a gun makes you somebody. At the end of the day, you make you. You're the person that needs, how can I say this? At the end of the day, you don't need no gun to prove that you're a real man. To prove that you're a real man, all you gotta do is just be real. Stay honest and use your fists. A real man works for what he wants, doesn't sit around and waits for it. A real man will sit here and defend the lady that's next to him. A real man will not sit here and shoot a woman or a child in the back, or shoot a woman or a child at all. For what? All I'm saying is that this gun violence has to end. You got 70 Philadelphia children shot in 2020, a 43% increase. This is Philadelphia. And the 2021 statistics have not been updated yet.
Ready, set, go.
But it's crazy because you don't hear nobody stand up, and you don't hear nobody scream, you don't hear nobody shout until it's somebody in their family that gets shot. But how many of these kids have lost their lives to an unknown bullet, to a bullet with no name?
Amid this surge in violence in recent months, as Philadelphia deals with a rising number of shootings and homicides, it turns out children are increasingly the victims. Action News investigator Chad Perdelli has the story by the numbers tonight.
Juveniles are under fire and bleeding on the streets across Philadelphia. Action News found 70 juveniles have been shot in 2020, a 43% increase compared to this time last year. Most are boys, 96% are black, and most of the shootings occurred in North Philadelphia.
These numbers, we need to do some work.
Michelle Kersfry is with Mothers in Charge in anti-violence advocacy. She too has lost a son to gun violence. She finds the numbers disturbing, considering the city has been on lockdown for the better part of 3 months.
You may be in a home with an abuser, with a tormentor. You may be locked into a neighborhood because you cannot travel freely throughout the city because we have been in this isolated mode.
Just this week, Action News spoke to a mother whose 15-year-old son only identified as Raheem, was shot more than a dozen times at 11th and Harper. Police called it an ambush.
My son said all he remember is falling and wasn't able to get back up.
It's an opportunity for us as a city to look at the disparities in communities of color. Where are these guns coming from?
A spokesperson for the mayor's office released a statement to Action News and called our findings heartbreaking, and also said that the city will soon be launching what's called the Group Violence Intervention Initiative. It's a partnership with law enforcement and other stakeholders to reduce gun violence, and details are expected to be released in the coming days. Outside of police headquarters, Chad Perdelli, Channel 6, Action News.
Dinner with the Drakes tonight? Alexa, ask Buick to start my Encore.
All right. All I can say is, once again, the answer is right underneath our noses. Ain't none of us paying attention. If we stand up and make a difference, if we make a change as the adults, as the parents, as these kids advocates, as these kids protectors, as these kids healers, as these kids therapists, it's what we're supposed to do. We can make the change. But nobody want to hear that shit, right? Till next time, this y'all Shorty Racheal. I hope all of y'all have a blessed and humble day.